Being a music producer, beat maker can be one of the most fun things you can do, but it can also be complicated in the beginning because you kind of don't know what you're doing. I started making beats in 2018, 3 years ago, and let me tell you, it has been a fun and exciting journey. My first beat was trash, just like everyone else when they first start. And today I'm going to go over what I was struggling with in the beginning so you won't have to make the same mistakes.
I gotta give it a go, yeah. For money in the door, yeah. Stop wasting time. You wasting your time for real. I'm about to no cap for real. Remember we came from the dark for real.
So I never just starting off to make beats. I know sometimes it can be a little bit complicated at times. I remember when I first started my Instagram page, I didn't know what I was doing. It was very difficult and I got lost a lot of the time. I really wanted to make sure everything was sounding good before I posted anything. To be honest with you, I never thought maybe this day would actually come where I would feel confident enough to show people my music. The first thing I want to tell you is, regardless of anything, just start posting your beats or your music. And when you post them everywhere. Post them on Instagram, post them on SoundCloud, post them on Facebook, on TikTok, post them in as many places as you can. See, the reason I'm telling you this is because you're gonna slowly build up that confidence if you're not confident enough yet to post your beats, to showcase your beats or music to everybody else. Music sometimes is subjective and maybe you think it's trash, but some other people, they think it's fire. Just like trap beats nowadays, a lot of people hate this new modern trap music or hyper pop or drill. Then there's a big audience for the same type of music. That just goes to show that music is subjective and it doesn't matter. So you may be EQing something a little bit off, it's like, no, it's not ready to be heard yet. And to some people, they're not even gonna notice what you didn't do to it. Stop beating yourself up, stop making excuses, and just start posting your music online because it's free advertisement. You don't gotta pay for anything and you showcase your music. I mean, why else would you want to be making music? Unless you're doing it for your own enjoyment and entertainment, then yeah, I get it. But if you want to make a career out of it, which most people I think do, then you're gonna have to start growing a little bit of a fan base or a following. So don't be scared of how your music sounds right now. Just go ahead and start posting it. Now, the second thing I want to say is, if you're making beats specifically, go ahead and buy yourself a good drum kit. And if you don't have a drum kit to buy, you're like, RMC, I don't have any money to buy a drum kit. Well, guess what? Today's your lucky day. Go ahead and download my drum kit that I just made. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description and you can go ahead and just download it for free. All you gotta do is, of course, subscribe to my email list. But I mean, that's just a little favor, right? Having a good sound could definitely up your game when it comes to music, making beats, because your sound selection has to be, you know, up to par with kind of like the industry and the way the industry is sounding right now. Now, with a good drum kit, you could definitely up your game. You can make some soundtracks sound more professional. You can make them sound good to the listener's ear. Then you can eventually start selling your beats or your music and then make some revenue off of it, or even better, get a placement somewhere. Now, a lot of the times we find ourselves very stuck with beat block, whatever it can be. You find yourself frustrated because you don't know what to do, what kind of beat to make. You don't know what style, what genre to make. Well, tip number 3 is definitely gonna fix that. A lot of mistakes we're doing is we're not using enough reference tracks. That means simply get a song or some music that you like listening to very often and just replicate the same beat or the same music, the same song, whatever it is. Believe me, 9 out of 10, you're not gonna make the same exact beat, music, or sound because it's very difficult. Don't feel like, oh my God, this is wrong, this is like plagiarism, or I'm gonna get copyrighted, or what. Relax, okay? It's not gonna sound exactly the same. I've done it a lot of times when I find a song that I like the chords, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use the same chords and just make it my own music, make it my own beat, make my own track out of this. A lot of songs have the same chord progressions, like so many, and they're up in the charts, like top 100 Billboard charts. It's okay, like that doesn't matter so much. Only like real good and professional, maybe producers or musicians, can actually replicate the same exact sound and music for it to sound exactly the same. It's actually very difficult to do, but by you having a reference track, you're gonna have something to look forward to. Think about it like this, kind of like when you draw something, right? You look at an image and you're trying to draw it out, right? So you're trying to draw it out as best as you can to the way the image looks. Same thing with music here. And you're trying to replicate it as best as you can. Now, if you get it really close to the way that sounds, that's very impressive. Now you could just tweak a few things here and there and make it your own. So that's definitely one thing I wish I would have known to do earlier, because I was just making a bunch of stuff that didn't sound that great. And by using reference tracks, it definitely helped my game up a lot to become the producer I am today and to sell more beats as well. Now, the fourth and last thing I want to say is do not get discouraged. I hear this constantly. A lot of people just getting discouraged because their music is not up to par. They don't have this drum kits. They don't have the sounds they need. They don't have the VSTs they need. They don't have the DAWs they need. It's just full of a bunch of excuses. And I'm here to tell you, like, do not get discouraged in whatever situation you're in right now. If you don't have the hardware, if you don't have like the cameras, just use what you have, but you have to start. And by getting discouraged, you're just gonna procrastinate more, and you're gonna end up not doing anything about it. Which doing something about it, even if it's something that you think is not that great, is still better than doing nothing. I talk about this too because a lot of people get depressed when they hear or they compare themselves to other producers or other musicians that are so good, and you're like, man, why can't I be at that level? I'm never gonna get to that level. No, don't worry about that, because you're you. And you're not that person, okay? You don't know their story, you don't know their backstory, their history. You make your own history, make your own music, do what you gotta do. Everybody is different. Comparing yourself can be good up to a certain extent. If you're comparing yourself to better yourself, definitely do it. If you're comparing yourself and it's hurting you because you're like, man, I suck, I'm never gonna get like that, then just stop comparing yourself, because that's not the way you should be comparing yourself. If you're looking at somebody you look up to, or somebody that's like an idol to you, something like that, and he inspires you, or that person, he or she inspires you to be better, then in that case, yeah, keep watching their stuff, keep listening to their stuff, try to reach out to them, ask them questions, but never stop pushing, because that's the worst thing that can happen. I started 3 years ago. I am where I am now. I'm not where I want to be, but you know what? I'm enjoying the process, and I'm super happy about it as well. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really had fun making it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep this channel growing. Till next time, don't forget to download the drum kit as well. Till next time, stay blessed and stay positive. Peace.
Am I strong? I gotta give it a go, yeah. I gotta grind, working for money in the door, yeah. Stop wasting time. You wasting your time for real. I'm about to no cap for real. Remember we came from the dark for real.